Legend of Total War here, and today we've got a different video from the usual live quick battle Let's Plays. This one is a quick battle, but it's a replay, obviously, because we've got the game paused. I just fought this battle, and I wasn't recording just because I wasn't really feeling like it. I don't record every one of my battles, but I thought that this battle here, I feel like there's something to add in regard to a video, so let's do it. This battle has 3 stages to it, I think. So I just want to go through basically how to deal with this. Now I've brought my my usual Bretonnia army, 6 peasant archers, 6 men at arms, 4 spears, the flying good squad, and of course the damsel. And of course, when I started the battle, I wasn't able to see his forces. So let's just get started. So obviously, what I'll do firstly is send my Pegasus paladins just up here to see what we're up against before, committing to anything. To see if he was going to try and take the high, because if you just rush your troops up there, you might find yourself great swords or something waiting there for you. Or whatever. Which wasn't the case in this one, so I had a look over here. See that this guy is really making use of the edge of the map. And I saw that he had the Sunmaker. Now, whenever I see the Sunmaker for an Empire player, I think, great, this is going to give me a great advantage. Because the thing about the Sunmaker is, as long as you keep your forces spread out, it just cannot do enough damage to Bretonnia. I have seen it do a good job before. Anyway, so what I decided to do firstly was sending my cheapest units up the top here, being the spearmen. Because what I wanted to do, obviously, is waste as much ammo. What I also did over here while it was going, I was trying to waste some ammo of the archers, while of course we just let the what's it called? The artillery shoot. Now obviously he's not using it all the time. We also need to keep in mind that this battle only has 20 minutes, so you can't just sit there the whole time and just wait for them to run out of ammo. Something you really got to keep an eye on the clock. I mean, it's great to be what's it called, to waste their ammo and see the balance of power in your favour, but if you don't make use of it and actually rout the enemy army, what's the point? So anyway, we tried to, basically go back and forth, making it seem like I was really indecisive, but in actual case, I really just wanted him to keep shooting, giving him opportunities to shoot, these guys in the back, and then turning them around at the last second. Really, really obvious stuff. You can see over here already, it's so low on ammunition, and it's only killing spearmen, Right, speed that up. This is the great thing about doing it, I guess, as a replay as opposed to live, is that I can actually speed it up just fine. Now, as you can see, even though we haven't used up all the ammo yet, and we've dished out no casualties on his side, the balance of power has actually been moving in our favour. Now, I was counting on this. Because, obviously, if you see a unit like that, which is, both a strength and a weakness, you want to turn it into a weakness. And the thing about missile units is, as their ammo runs out, the balance of power will shift away, if they're not making kills. So obviously, as he wasn't shooting, committing more of my guys up in the hill, giving him more opportunities to shoot, keeping them as spread out as possible. Of course, we're going to take some damage. We can't possibly dodge something like this. But it's not really about that. It's just making sure that their ammunition is just not used efficiently. Because the thing is, this unit here cost, I think, nearly 2,000. I think this was 1,950. And these units cost 550. These ones here are like 470 or something, because they've got lots of experience. So they need to kill a lot of these units in order to make their cost effectiveness. Now, obviously, I've kept my my archers hidden around the back here because I really don't want them shot. Obviously, I do rely on them quite heavily for killing purposes. And this guy does have a lot of demigryph knights. So obviously, just giving him opportunities to shoot, making sure that ammo gets wasted. Because at the end of the day, with this game, I mean, who's in the right or wrong for camping? Just about every single time I go up against Empire, they fucking camp. And I get called cheese, but what the fuck is camping? The thing is about this build though, for all of its strengths, it cannot camp. You can't just sit there. You have to go and attack because there's no artillery, and you can't win the battle just with the Flying Goon Squad. Occasionally you can get a slight advantage at the beginning with the Flying Goon Squad. It's not the case in this one because they've got, as we can see, we've got the Light Wizard, so if I flew over here trying to pick off something, it'll just use Net of Amentok and then, of course, the Demigryph Knights to finish off my Flying Goon Squad. I'm very much aware of that. So as it's starting to run out now, we need to start moving on. This was phase 1, which of course is like the bullshit phase. Next up will be the Forest Camp phase. So as soon as this guy runs out of ammo, he realizes I'm coming in to attack, and he needs a new advantage. So what he does, which you'll see in a minute, he'll do it any second from now. There we go. He starts hiding in he starts going into the forest, which I at first thought, okay, he doesn't really have any units that are going to gain a big bonus by being in the forest. And, you know, my crossbow or my archers are going to be just as effective at shooting their crossbows as vice versa, just because of the trees. However, because his units were in the forest and mine weren't, it seemed like his actually were doing more damage to me. Anyway, we'll skip ahead to that point. So this is about to be phase 2, which is the forest camp. At no point in this battle did this guy take the initiative to attack me, as you'll see. Which, you know, it's fine. I don't have a problem with being the attacker. So, me not particularly willing to engage with them just yet, because although my melee infantry are quite strong, he's gone with a very good... like, don't get me wrong, this army, apart from the Sunmaker, was very good. The Sunmaker is a very bad choice, in my opinion. Unless you want to draw out the clock, which happened. Like, this is still 8 minutes into this, and we haven't really started a proper engagement. Anyway, so I started to just shoot a few things here. I had more more peasant archers than they did crossbow, so I thought I had a pretty good advantage. I kept these guys up front here because I wanted these guys to shoot them, because for one thing, the trees will block a lot of the shots, and then secondly, there's no Flying Goon Squad for me to worry about, and getting rid of their ammo would save my men. Because I didn't really need my Flying Goon Squad that much in this battle, apart from at the end of it. So we've got the balance of power at this stage, but I felt like attacking it head-on with a head-on assault would just give these Demigryph Knights an opportunity to come around my flank and attack, which you'll see later on. Because you can't really move inside of a forest whilst in a box. So I thought I'd try and skirmish. This is me just basically trying to gauge where all of his units are, because obviously a lot of them are hidden most of the time. Of course, in a replay we can see them, but on live, we can't. Also, if I can block a few of their shots, that's great. So as we can see here, I wasn't really doing very much damage. So I pulled back just to reassess the situation, because I wasn't winning. I knew he wasn't going to come out of the forest. The balance of power was still too much in my favour. And we don't have time to sit here and waste the ammo of the archers now. There's not enough time left on the clock. So I knew I had to do something. But, you know, I needed a moment to think. So then I thought, okay, well, the crossbows are behind the spears. Why don't we just move just in range of the spears, so just over here, you see I'll do that soon, so that we will shoot the spears. I won't get great shots because they're in the trees, but if I get rid of these spears, because these aren't spears with shields, they're just regular spears, if I can get rid of their spearmen, well then I'll just send my infantry in to go get rid of their other troops. Right, so there I move up, and now we move into a single line, knowing full well that he's not going to be offensive anyway. Very defensive player. Again, nothing wrong with doing that. There was no need for a box, because there just wasn't any need for it. So yeah, I'm just shooting whatever I can. Okay, then he moves his spears back. Now we've already seen that my archer engagement, for some reason, wasn't working well, so very soon, I just commit to the fight. Knowing full well that my archer's probably going to get smashed by the Demigryph Knights, but we can't have two players being defensive, and there's only 9 minutes left on the clock. I wanted to win the battle, I didn't want to draw out this fight, but at the same time, I don't want to, suicide, so sometimes, caution is a better part of valor. We want to make sure each step that we take in this attack is executed properly, because it can backfire. Alright, so I think just a few more shots get in before I get sick of it, and then charge. So let that skirmish. And then I came down here and attacked them, just to sort of wake them up a little bit. It was a little bit of a mistake. Now, he put down the net of Amentok, so I was, like, desperate to get out of there. Now, the funny thing is, if, like, they take a little bit to, like, start flying up, but if they start the animation to actually get up off the ground before the spell actually lands, even when the spell lands, they'll still get up off of the air, and that's what I was counting on. Because obviously he wanted to use his Demigryph Knights. In addition to that, of course, I had my forces coming in to commit. I committed every single one of them. I thought, fuck it, I don't need to protect the archers. They're just not doing enough for me. And as you soon see, the Demigryph Knights do exactly what's expected and you know, wreck up the archers. But the archers aren't terribly worth it, and will mop up his infantry. That net of Amentok, massive pain in the ass for Bretonnia. It's a very expensive spell, I think. How much does it cost? Oh, look at the wrong thing. Oh, right, yeah, in replays I can't check. Doesn't let me lock on anything other than bloody Leon Kerr. So, over here, we can see that their Demigryph Knights are coming around our flank. He's kept one of them round the back here. Don't usually see 3 Demigryph Knights. It's usually a symmetrical number, like 2 or 4 or something like that. Knew that they were coming around the back. Not particularly well protected here, but, you know, archers have already used up half their ammo. They haven't done a good job in this battle, and so, fuck it. Let's try and just punch through anyway. Anyway, I started pulling some of my troops away from the engagement, because, it wasn't needed. Some of these areas were blobbed up a little bit, so I pulled them back to try and get rid of these Demigryph Knights. Also tried to get this guy down there, because the thing is, despite the fact these guys have got bonus first large and armor piercing, the paladins are quite good at the very least just locking them in place, which we need. Another net of Amentok down again. He really wants to stop my guys from moving around, but he doesn't really utilize shooting them. That being said, being in the forest and no guns, not really a good choice to shoot. At this point here, my archers pretty much get wrecked. But I already determined that I didn't really need them that much by this point. That I was relying on my melee infantry to finish the battle off for me. And, you know, as much as my back line is getting wrecked, his front line is getting wrecked. So sometimes to defend everything is to defend nothing. The balance of power is moving in our favour. We're pushing forward. In addition to that, we still managed to wreck one of these Demigryph Knights with halberds. And soon the battle will move to phase 3. So, just waiting for these guys to rout, and then I just... obviously, once their main infantry line falls back, now because he's sort of corner camped, there's not very far we have to go to push them all the way off the edge, which is exactly what I do. Once we get a rout going, I push them all the way off the edge, get them off the battlefield. Now, at this point, I was starting to sweat a little bit. I knew I was winning the battle, but at the same time, it was leaning towards like it was going to be a draw rather than a win. Because, you know, the balance of power is in my favour, but the time is not in my favour. I don't have the speed and the anti-large capabilities to take on the 2 Demigryph Knights that remained, plus, of course, the General of the Empire. So I was hoping that I had done enough damage by this point to get all these guys off the battlefield, and that it would cause the army loss penalty, but it wasn't enough. So you can see, pushing them all off the edge, just get on with that. Making sure they don't come back. And now we enter phase 3, which was... what should I fucking call this? I don't know if you guys want to give a name for it, but basically the pussy fighting section, where because he's got essentially all cavalry now, and only 3.5 minutes on the clock, with the advantage completely lost, he wants to not engage, obviously. And I, of course, want to make sure he does engage. So I send these guys in. I don't actually intend to attack, because if I attack over here, it's not going to do it. But this is my key to victory here, the Light Wizard. They want to protect him, because there's always a chance if I kill the Light Wizard, that the balance of power will move enough in my favour. So we really want to just keep them here while my troops get over here, because I've only got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever. 2.5 minutes, fuck. Alright, and then... So yeah, I'm just dicking around, just trying to keep him locked in place while I can get my other forces over here. Now at this point I've only got one archer left. Now what I decided to do was put my archer out in the open, not protect it. What for? Because I only had 2.5 fucking minutes left on the clock. I wanted him to come and attack it. Nope. Because we needed to get some... It didn't matter if I even made some bad strategic choices, we just needed to get some kills down. So he took the bait with one of the Demigryph Knights, sent it down towards my Peasant Bowman, and I switched all my guys around, and we went straight for these Demigryph Knights. Now at this point I was hoping, please let this... Once we beat this unit here, hopefully the balance of power will be enough in our favour to cause the army rout. But it wasn't. It was almost there, but wasn't quite. So we've got him here. So then also what I did, left the damsel out in the open. Saw that they were coming. Send her back in. This one here didn't quite go as planned because my guys were busy over here. Excuse me. Alright, so over here, victory's in our grasp. I thought, okay, finally, I've got it. Not quite, I needed to get just a little bit more, so I came in to try to get this general. And then, of course, fucking net of Amintok comes down. But luckily, actually, it's not really luckily, my guys, actually, no, they flew back up. My guys wouldn't be able to get in there, because the thing is, it's not instant. If you walk into the area, the net comes down on you. In many ways, the net of Amintok is maybe a little bit overpowered. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so I'm sitting there with 50 seconds left on the clock, with this much balance of power, not really getting angry, but just kicking myself for not speeding up, not being faster. These Demigryph Knights came back, and I thought, oh fuck, it's a draw. Look, it doesn't matter, at least I didn't lose points at this, because a loss is far worse than a draw for me at this point. No, other way around, a draw is, whatever. Because I'm so high up in the rank, I lose so many points. So I just thought, fuck it, he can't beat me if I beat all my goon squad. I'm just going down there, and I'm just going to smash his units up. Now, luckily, I did just enough damage. Oh, that's right, that's how much time is left on the clock, on the battle, but there was 20 seconds left at this point, and then the rout came. So this was a 19-minute, 40-second battle. And I just managed to scrape through on the time there. So, I don't know. I thought it was a pretty interesting battle that I won through. Just it's basically kicking the winning goal right in the last few seconds there. Definitely that's, there have been times where I've been winning in which the time just ran out, just couldn't get to the guys fast enough. Or, too much, there's a lot of dicking around in the air or whatever like that. Sometimes that happens with quick battles. Especially at the upper end of things. Sometimes when I go up against... I went up against an Empire build today that was, by every definition, cheese. It was just full fucking flying goon squad and 2 steam tanks and like a bunch of outriders. It was like all cav, which is fine. I don't care when people do that. And the battle was. It kept swinging back and forth, but at the very end of the battle, the balance of power was in my favour. But I just couldn't fucking get Leon Kerr back into... Because everything had just spread out all over the place. And I just couldn't get him to go and kill the enemy general fast enough. And the timer ran out. Anyway, that's the end of this episode, guys. So, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And I'll just leave the end of the episode here so you can see just the stats of the battle. Yeah, and we'll see you next time, fuckers.